What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? Let me give a warm, early welcome to some of the people that are in here early. Let me see who we have in here. Looks like Dolores is in here. Nita's in here. Welcome, early birds. I appreciate you guys like always, my usuals. My moderator, Cece. Cambodian Mystique is in here. My other moderator. We're going to let a few more people come in here, you guys, before we get started. Who else is in here? Hold on. Oh, Damage Kisses is here. Welcome, Damage Kisses. All my good people, all my happy people are in here. We're going to let a few more people come in before we go in, you guys, before we get started. Malara, what's up? Malara's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget all my members. You can get this shipped to you for all of my members. You can get this shipped to you. It's free. You pay for the shipping. Ask me at the end of the live today. For all my members. All members. All members. Wait a minute. I'm just in here to just dropping stuff, you guys. Upside down. All right, let's let some more people come up in here, you guys, before we get started. D. Nicole Young, don't forget, if you are a member, you guys, you do get this CD shipped to you. You paid for only the shipping. You don't buy the CD. It's for my members only. If you want to buy it and you're not a member, it's okay. At the end of the live today, let me know, and we can get it to you. All kinds of cool stuff. All kinds of cool stuff. And believe me, I got those necklaces coming. The necklaces for all my stoners, the stone necklaces, they're coming. Dolores, what's up? Hey, I noticed Dolores don't say hi to me no more, y'all. Good morning, Dolores. Good morning. Thank you, Dolores. I appreciate that. I got to mess with Dolores a little bit. RLC. Hi, Daddy. I bet you're wearing some silk. There y'all go. Y'all. These trolls is something else, man. Bridget, what's up? Benjamin Padilla, what's up, family? Hello, Stone. How are you today, bro? Hello, hardworking moderators. Brother Benjamin, it's good to see you. You missed yesterday, man. It was a doozy yesterday. We had my church folks in here trying to go in on me because I'm a Buddhist. It got a little bit crazy, Brother Benjamin, up in here yesterday. But you know what? Yesterday, I got some cool new subscribers yesterday. Dolores says she can take it. Nah, it's all in love, Dolores. Messing with you. That's all. It's all in love. Yesterday, I got some cool new subscribers, man. What's up, Bridget? What's happening? Okay, you guys, this is what I want to say. And I'm going to have to say this a few times within my live. My little disclaimer. And I want everybody to understand. This is my disclaimer. Dolores said, yes, it made me mad because you were so upset. And I understand where you was coming from. Dolores, you won't believe some of the things that happened yesterday. Not just what was happening on the live, but I said some things on the live to somebody that was in my live. Now, if you guys remember, first let me give my disclaimer. Here's a disclaimer from my channel. This channel is meant for high frequency vibration. This channel is not meant for low frequency vibration. This channel is a positive channel. It is meant to raise your frequency, your vibration, your thoughts, whatever you're going through the day, you come into my channel. It's about uplifting you, educating people, sharing knowledge with people. Inquisitive, what's happening, family? Are you a new subscriber or have you been here? And hopefully if you've been here, you become a member. This channel does not vibrate from the waist down. Understand that. This channel does not vibrate from the waist down. That's low, dirty chakra. That's low, dirty energy. This channel vibrates from the waist up. High frequency from the midsection, from here up. We vibrate at this channel. This channel is not a place for, if you come in here looking for negative, go to another channel, because that's not my channel. I made it clear to people that were my subscribers that follow me. I made one thing clear. I said, anybody at my channel that follow channels that speak negative of me, if I find out you're on my channel, I want you to leave or I'm going to block you. I made that clear to everybody. Everybody knows. You can go back and watch the video. I said this because I don't spend my time talking about other content creators. So when I see content creators speaking negative of me, I don't want to have nothing to do with them, nor do I want to have anything to do with their people that are at their channel. So if you are on somebody's channel and they're negative and they speak, I don't care if they've said one thing per every other video about me. If they're talking negative about me and you're in my subscriber section, you don't need to be here. Why? Stay over there where you're at. Be negative. Stay where you're at. Why come here and pretend to be cool with me, acting like you're cool, you want to come to my shows? You see, there's some tricky subscribers. And I say to content creators, be careful with your subscribers because typically that's where all the mess starts. I'll say again, this particular subscriber yesterday when I brought the name up on my live and asked them, are you subscribed to other channels? I don't care if people subscribe to other channels. I don't care. I'm not trying to hold people to only my channel. But if you're at a channel that you know and I know speaks negative of me, Brother Yak Diesel, what's up, family? Then I don't want you at my channel. Because for you to sit there and hear a person say any one thing, it doesn't matter if it's one thing they've spoken of me. That means you agree with it because you're sitting over there watching and allowing that energy to come inside of you. Then you're coming back to my channel acting like you cool with me. Then that same person comes into my inbox and tells me how they felt some kind of way because I mentioned it on the live. What channels do they follow? If you weren't up to anything wrong, why would you feel some kind of way? But they go right back to that channel and make a comment. They posted a comment and said it was worth it. So what was it worth? It was worth you coming trolling my channel to go back and tell them if I said anything about them? I don't need to talk about other content creators. That's not why I'm here. But if they speak of me, initially I might say something to them. But once I'm done, I'm not going to give them no more energy. For what? Why do I need to? Now, this content creator came on yesterday. They know who they are. I mean, not content creator. This subscriber came on yesterday when I mentioned what I said to that person. And they came in my inbox saying I didn't do anything to you. That's whatever's between you and those people. I ain't got no problem with nobody. See, that's how fucked up you are in your head. You want to make up a problem. That lets me know you with the bullshit because I have no problem with nobody. But in your head, you say to me in my inbox, you know, whatever problem you got with people, that's y'all problem. No, I don't have a problem with no content creator. No content creator, none. And there's no need for me to have a problem. But it's subscribers like you that I don't trust. I thought you was cool. You come into my live. You even became a member of my damn channel. What? To troll my channel for somebody else? Why? What's the real reason you did that shit? Then you want to make it like I'm in the wrong for bringing up, asking you what channels do you follow? When it's my job to ask you that. You see, if you come in here for positivity, what were you trying to do? Meet me, get close to me so you can find out other information about me so you can go share and make up some shit sharing with another content creator? Is that what this was about? Because you said on their live, I saw it. Somebody sent it to me. You said it was worth it. Yeah, Stone Paxton kicked me off his channel. Stone Paxton confronted me on this channel. Yeah, but it was worth it. What was it worth? When you made that statement, ask yourself, when you told your people on that other person's channel, after you told me you're not a messy person and you're not caught up in this and that, you went right back over there and like you going back to your mom and reporting to your mother. Grown-ass women, grown-ass people doing this shit, y'all. I want you guys to know this was a grown woman doing this and that I thought was cool as shit. But she just proved to me I can't trust really anybody on this YouTube. Content creators, be careful with your subscribers. You possibly have to hold them accountable unless you are actually sending them to other people's channel. That's the question of the day. Now, I could go deeper. I could do just like I've done with other people and go in on you. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave you alone. Take this as a lesson. Don't come up in my channel trolling for other people's channel. Anybody in my channel that subscribed to somebody that speaks negative of me, and you know what I'm talking about and who I'm talking about. There's only a few people that spoke negative of me on YouTube. But if you're at their channel and you up in my channel acting like you cool and I find out, I'm going to expose the fuck out of you. But the next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to go deeper than that. We're going to bring up all kinds of shit. Don't play no games with me. Don't come in my channel acting like you cool with me. Do not come in my channel act like you're subscribed to me. Mike 909, what's up, family? Don't come in with the jokes, Mike. Hold on. Don't delete what Mike said. Mike, you want to tell jokes? I'll bring you up. I'll let you. You want to be famous? I'll bring you up. You could be a comedian. Let's test your jokes. Let's see if my people think the corny shit you say is funny. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. Content creators, the real solid content creators, please beware of your subscribers because they can be messy. I've learned in this YouTube crazy stuff that the content creators are typically a lot of the reasons the beef starts with the content creators. The subscribers, excuse me, are usually the reason why the back and forth beef start with the content creators. Content creators, be smart. Now, that's only to the smart ones, the intelligent ones that get it. The ones that are just creating this because they're creating it, then it is what it is. If that's how you operate, believe me, it will come back to you sooner or later. But for the smart ones that are here for a real purpose, be careful with whoever you allow to subscribe to your channel. Pay attention to where they go. And pay attention if they're going somewhere that is being negative towards you. And if they are, you need to cut them off. You see, it doesn't matter if a person stops following me. For every one person that don't follow me or two, there's 10 that do. That's what you got to realize. So you telling me, I'm going to stop following your channel. That's fine. I'm going to unsubscribe. I don't give a fuck if you unsubscribe to everything. You ain't, what, $1.20 motherfucking 9? I don't care if you're not a member of my channel. It's worth not having the headache and dealing with people. All of a sudden, I'm being talked about, and I'm wondering why I'm being talked about because you've come into my live and took a little piece of what you thought I might have said about somebody and ran over to their channel and said, I think Stone Paxton talking about you. Yeah, listen, girl, this is what he said. Ooh, wee. Yeah, I thank you. Yeah, I got the information. Thank you for give me my cookies, my treat. Because that's the way you running the game with this. You acting like you getting some kind of treats by reporting negative shit back to people. And don't tell me you've never reported back to that person something that you thought that I said about them. If I got something to say about somebody, I will say your name. There's not going to be no guessing. Or you're going to know I'm talking about you. But why do I need to talk? Content creators, I'll say again, be careful with your subscribers because they are the real culprits. Now, don't get me wrong. There are content creators that create beefs with each other. But it's the subscribers that can keep that shit going. Trust me, I've seen it. I've watched it. This lady is a prime example. I thought she was a good person. And maybe there's some sort of good inside of her somewhere. But the shit she just pulled and tried to deflect back on me was bullshit. It would have been better for you to come into my inbox and say, I'm sorry, Stone. I know I saw the video originally when you said you didn't want nobody on your channel that was from that person's channel. I apologize. I'm guilty of that. But don't come to my inbox acting like me bringing your name up in my live, I did bad. No, I didn't. You were being slick and calculated, and you know you were. And you proved my point by going back and doing exactly what I knew you were going to do. Stone Paxton kicked me off. Stone Paxton confronted me on his live. Yeah, you guys, and everybody commenting. Yeah, well, it was worth it. It was worth it. Oh, CC's going to tell him I sent him an email. Fuck your email. And fuck you with that sort of spirit. Yeah, I said it. Because once again, I want you to understand, it takes a lot for Stone Paxton to trust somebody. But when I don't trust you no more, I'll never trust you. It'll take a lot for you to win that shit back. Yeah. Yeah, you was every bit on my live yesterday. And I even asked, where you been? I said, where you been? Where you been? Oh, I've been busy. No, your ass been over there. And you come and you troll me. That's really what it is. Talking about you ain't got whatever problems between me and people. Stone ain't got no problem with nobody. That's the shit y'all subscribers make up. on people's channel like they got a problem with each other. I don't have no problem with no content creator. I want you to remember that, and I want everybody today that's hearing me talk to remember what I'm saying. Don Big, take your fat ass somewhere and go lose weight. Stop trying to be a comedian on my live. Now, if you want to do comedy, I will let you come up here and be live. Let me send you the link. You want to be funny to come up here and do comedy. Let's see how good you really are. Other than that, stay up here with your corny shit you say. Now, back to what I was saying. I don't have a problem with people coming to my channel subscribing. I have a problem with subscribers being messy. Any smart content creators, y'all better start checking y'all subscribers. Because if you don't, trust and believe they're going to be trolling your channel and trying to create problems with you and another content creator. It starts there. It starts in the home. Your channel is your house. Check your house. If your house ain't in order, then it's going to be problems for you. This is a prime example. I trusted that woman. And she was full of shit, y'all. Victory, everybody that's here. KGS, what's funny? What's funny? Dolores said, I have the utmost respect. Silent Production said, what's up, brothers and sisters? What's up, family? Listen, you guys, okay, let's get into the story. I had to do that disclaimer. I had to, because you got too many people that be on this YouTube and all these beefs, and I ain't trying to have that shit. I don't need no beefs with nobody, because I don't fuck with nobody. I'm on here to do Stone Paxton. I'm not on here to talk about this person, that person, that person. And I'm not on here to let subscribers pimp out my channel in their own way of manipulation. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna block your ass and I'm gonna talk about you and I'm gonna tell people who you are. Now, you're lucky I'm not mentioning your name today. I'm gonna spare you on that shit. But don't play no fucking games with me like you don't know what happened and why I didn't want you or anybody else at my channel that's from negative channels. Now, dig that. Take that and do something with that shit. Let me get started on the shit I'm talking about. No, Malar, we're going to have a good day. But that's a disclaimer, because I don't think you know what happened yesterday, Malar. Y'all got to understand what happened. Sweet Rain, welcome in. Let's get started, y'all. Here it is. Here it is. Now, we've been having conversations the last couple weeks about, people been randomly mentioning sundown towns in my comment section. There's a few people that said, man, I live in a sundown town, right? And I'm like, oh, shit, how is it? I can't remember who it was, but they were telling me about their experiences in their sundown town. And I was like, well, damn, give us more information about it. He shared a little bit of information. I can't quite remember who that was on my channel that was talking about that. So here it is, 10 sundown towns that shaped a dark chapter in Black American history. Black American history. Yes, Black American history. For those of you that don't understand what that means. Sundown towns that have affected Black families, the Black movement, everything that was Black, it affected it. Families that got Black Wall Street, that they burned the whole city down, which caused anything that was profitable for any African Americans and businesses they own. I know that town was also a sundown town. But we're going to go into the 10 cities and that has affected and that it became a historical part of Black history. And all Black people should know this because some of these cities are still in full effect to this day. Here it is. Sundown towns are a haunting, but often overlooked. It's an overlooked chapter in American history. These were communities that through law, intimidation, or violence systematically included Black Americans and other minorities. Particularly after sunset, the name Sundown Town comes from signs posted at the city's limits, warning non-white people to leave town by sundown or face dangerous consequences. Can you imagine? Let's for 1 minute imagine, for those of you that are not Black, let's for 1 minute imagine being a Black person in the 1940s, 30s, 20s, 50s, and imagine knowing that you have to be careful, even more so back then where you went. It was that serious. Imagine waking up Black every day And this is what you have to deal with. How would you stomach the spirit of raising your frequency to be happy every day? Knowing, yes, there was no slavery at that time anymore. Yes, you could go and work and things were relatively okay. But you had to be careful and you had to learn every city or it could cost you your life. Can you imagine waking up being a black person with a black family, knowing that you got to get in your car and you got to travel across the country and go see your black family? But you're worried because now you got to figure out what towns not to stop in and what towns is okay, what gas stations. Do you know the psychological thing that would do on you? I want you to imagine just for 1 second, if you don't mind, for all of you that are not African American, I want you to imagine it's okay. It's okay. Just take a moment and imagine waking up as a black person and ask me if you would be okay with that. And from that point, for 6 months, you're going to be black. And you got to deal with everything that's black. I have to put you in the driver's seat to get you to understand the dynamic of what I'm saying. Because I don't think a lot of you get it that are not black. And I know what you're going to say. I already know. I can hear it. Stone, slavery's over with. Why do people keep talking about these subjects? Because we're still dealing with these issues. And as long as we're dealing with these issues, we will be talking about this subject. But there's nothing wrong with educating people on the truth. We educate you so that you can have a conscious conversation with those that are going through that struggle. So let's go back again. Let's rewind. I want you to imagine waking up black. And everything you do from that point on is black. I want you to close your eyes for 1 minute. Just do that favor for me. While I clear my throat. Close your eyes. This happens to me every day. I'm staying up too late, you guys. I'm a vocalist. We got to get rest. Close your eyes for 1 moment. Just do me the favor. I want everybody on my live to do one thing, even my black folks, because you already know the experience. Close your eyes for 2 minutes, you guys. And I just want you to imagine. My eyes are closed as I'm talking to you. Imagine waking up, and if you're not a black person, you're white, you're Asian, Hispanic people get the struggle. They get it. So I'm not going to ask them to do it. But if they're here, I want them to close their eyes too, because I want them to reimagine. So just like black folks, everybody close your eyes. I want you all to reimagine. Imagine from the time that you wake up, there are obstacles in the way. So imagine a freeway. And on that freeway, there are bricks, there's huge stones, there's broken down cars, there's big poles, there's trees in the middle of the street. There's random obstacles in the form of positive people in the middle of that freeway. That is a black person's life. And I want you to imagine from here on out that is your day-to-day that you have to wake up to. That's really black people's life, for real. I know I'm sounding over dramatic, but I'm not. I'm really, really not. That is an analogy of an African American's life. And black people all around the world. That is the real analogy of their life. The unforeseen obstacles that we don't ever see until they are implemented against us. Now, we know they're there, but we wake up happy, y'all. Black folks, we some happy people. We wake up, we happy, you know what I'm saying? We ain't thinking about, we get in the car, we drive, and all of a sudden, bam, there's a situation. And if a lot of African Americans are not good at verbal judo, they end up falling victim to that particular circumstance. They might not come home alive. They might not come home alive. They might come home and they lost their job because they've spoken up and said something they felt like they needed to say to protect themselves. And not even out of the derogatory statement, just something that's saying, I am protecting myself. Sir, I didn't do that, sir. That wasn't me that put that there. Simple, trivial shit in offices. You see, black people have been subject to the most simple shit that has gotten them fired, has gotten them unalived. Sir, I didn't move that in the office, sir. That wasn't me. Are you talking back to me? Are you raising your voice? No, sir, I was just saying it wasn't me. I'm showing you guys something. Trivial, simple shit. Put there to ignite us, to charge us, to get us to be upset so that we can lose that foundation that we worked so hard to build. I want you to imagine that's your daily life. So when we talk about these sundown towns, or you hear me talking about issues, it is not to be a person of being racist. My family's mixed with everything. It is to share the information. They only teach black history one time a year. Therefore, people don't really understand black people. But we learn American history year-round. When I want to know about somebody's culture, I learn and I research them. I jump into the trenches. I get to know them. I've learned about every culture that is that I didn't know because I wanted to be able to talk to people and understand them better. You understand what I'm saying? Let's continue to read. A sundown town was a place where racial exclusion was enforced by ordinances or informal threats and violence. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? I just want to make sure. I just realized I'm just running my mouth. And if y'all didn't hear me, that would be a travesty all that time. Can everybody hear me? You guys can hear me okay? Cherry P say Malcolm Jamal Warner loved his people and was removed allegedly. Yeah, we're going to talk about that too. Okay, y'all can hear me. Cool. Let's get into it, you guys. A sundown town was a place where racial exclusion was enforced by formal ordinances or informal threats and violence. While the term is most often associated with anti-black racism, many sundown towns also included Jewish, Chinese, Native American, and Mexican people. Well, they've always included that. These towns were most common between 1714 and 1960. Well, I was saying that, right? The peak period of the Jim Crow segregation. However, the legacy, and in some cases, their demographics persist to this day. That means the shit is still active right now today. As previously reported, you guys, the earliest known legal restrictions targeting the nighttime movements of black people in the USA can be tracked back to 1714. Well, that's the earliest, that's the latest reported, they say. That's a bunch of bullshit. 1714 law titled An Act to Prevent Disorders in the Night. Listen to this shit. They gave the shit a name. In 1714, they called it this. Look how they do it, y'all. Look how they do black folks. They called it an act to prevent disorders in the night. Sounds like to me they were scared of black folks. This was discriminatory legislation, used racist languages, no scapegoat indigenous people, black individuals, and mixed race referred to them as mulatto. Enslaved people for criminal activity after dark. The law effectively criminalized the presence of any persons of color. That includes Mexicans. That also includes minorities, Asians, and the list goes on. Outside of their home after 9 p.m., it was enforcing curfews that laid the groundwork for later forms of radicalized policy. How do they work, you guys? Sundown towns enforce racial boundaries through a combination of legal, social, and violent means. See, the violent means is what they did. They would do violent things to scare you into listening and doing what you're supposed to do. So when they would unlike black people, it would be more of an example to scare other black people to stay in your place, ninja. This is according to city ordinances and real estate covenants often prohibited non-white individuals from buying or renting property, effectively locking them out of entire communities. Police harassment, threats, and arrest were commonly used to intimidate those who dared to stay or even pass through the town. I'm going to share you guys a story. In many cases, violence or threats of a mob action was deployed against black travelers and residents who violated these unwritten rules. These restrictions were often reinforced by sunset laws, posted signs, or informal warning communicated through word of mouth, all designed to maintain racial exclusions after dark. Now, let me share something with you guys. Back in, I think 2004, because it was right before my mother passed away, and I apologize for clearing my throat all the time. I had a vice president position for this entertainment company in Anaheim Hills. Now, for all of you that don't know what Anaheim Hills is, it is a community in Orange County. Okay? You got one side that's Anaheim Hills, and you have the other side that's Yorba Linda. Arnold Schwarzenegger's house sits on the Yorba Linda side at the top of the hill. All of your politicians like Nixon, I think Reagan had a house there, and who else had a house there? Carter. I remember when I first moved to Orange County. Beautiful place, beautiful. The houses on the hill. I remember a person I met telling me, bro, you live where? I said, Orange County. They said, that's political strong arm. I said, what? They said, yeah, man, be careful up there, man. Only 40 years ago. Now, at the time he told me that was 2005. He said 40 years ago, black people couldn't even stop in Anaheim Hills. So just be careful. You're going to be living up there. Just be careful. And I was like, oh, shit. I said, for real? He said, yeah. He said, ask anybody from California. They'll tell you. I didn't know. So my first experience in Anaheim Hills, Orange County, was literally the first 2 days I was living there. Now, granted, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I had two experiences. I had two. I'll tell you the first one that I thought was going to be a bad one. I was driving my car, and I was getting off on the Anaheim Hills exit. A police was behind me. This was New Year's of 2004, going into 2005. He pulled me over. He asked me where was I going. I said, I'm going home. He said, where do you live? I told him where I was living. He kind of looked at me, walked around the car. He said, okay. I said, I just moved here, sir. He said, okay. He said, yeah, just make sure you're using your turn signal properly. Now, I knew I was using my turn signal properly. I'm black. I got to do everything right because I know just in case the police is following me, I don't get pulled over for some meticulous or small thing like that. So I didn't argue with him. I said, yes, sir, gotcha. He let me go. I took a deep breath because it kind of freaked me out because that was my first experience in Orange County, but it turned out to be not so bad. As I was there the next couple months, I noticed one thing about Anaheim Hills is it's a very small community. A lot of ball players live there. The guys that play for the A's live there. The Angels, I think. A lot of basketball players live there. And there was a 24-hour fitness gym that I would go down and work out at. But I noticed at the grocery store, the firemen would hang out and talk in the front of the grocery store. I'd never seen no shit like that. To me, that was like small town shit, right? I said, well, damn. I said, it's cool. Firemen hanging out. They all hanging out in front of the store, talking, chilling, right? Police hanging out. They would hang out in front of the stores. I'd never seen that. I went into that store one day. I can't remember if it was a Smith's or whatever. The lady said to me, can I help you? I did this. I looked around. I said, this is a store, right? She said, yes. I said, I'm in here shopping. She said, oh, okay. That was my second experience. I thought that was strange that she would ask me, can I help you? I'm like, I'm coming to shop for groceries. As I left, I said hi to the fire department. I said, hey, thank you guys for serving. You know, you guys don't get enough credit. You know, I try to introduce myself to the police, like, you know, hey, you know, police officer, I'm new to this community. I'm that kind of guy. If there's a police in my area who works my area all the time, I will introduce myself. If I see him at Starbucks, I say, how you doing, sir? My name is, you know, Stone Paxton. I live in this area. I see you drive around. I just want to introduce myself. Those are the things I do as a person. That's just who I am. Because I like to know that police because my tax dollars are paying for him. And I want that police to also know me so that night, if he sees me or whatever, he don't think that this guy's up to no good just because I'm driving a nice car and going home. I call it verbal judo. Also, I call it, you know, you got to kind of experiment with life and try things that could possibly make things better for you. So I've always implemented these things. That was okay. I talked to those guys and left. About maybe a week or two, I want to say 2 or 3 days, but I think it might have been a week or two. I was with a couple of my Asian buddies at Radio Shack. I'm on the phone talking to my manager, Charlie Sheen's uncle or cousin used to manage me. His name was Jeff Sheen. The actor Charlie Sheen's uncle or cousin. His name was Jeff Sheen, one of my managers, Jewish guy. Really, really cool guy. He was my manager. So I'm on the phone. We're talking business. And, you know, you guys know me. I'm a talker. I'm on the phone like this. I'm like, yeah, you know, okay. And that show, we're going to do that? Okay, yeah. So all of a sudden, there's a lady at the counter. As I am talking, she does this. She turns around. Me and my buddies were behind her, and she gives me this look. She turns around, and she stares at me like this. I'm on the phone still. She's like this. I'm on the phone. I'm like, hold on for a second. I'm like, oh, that's weird. He's like, what? I said, nothing. It's something weird. That lady looked at me. She turned back around when I stopped talking. When I started back talking, she does it again. She gives me this look. And she does this the second time. I say to Jeff, I say, whoa, hold on, Jeff. I said, this lady just put her hands up, and I looked at my Asian buddies, and I said, did you guys see that? They said, yeah, man, that's weird. I said, was she and I turned around and looked behind me. Like, there's nobody else behind me. So I was like, I think this woman wants me to shut up. And I said it exactly like that. This is why discipline is very important as a minority person. This is why having self-discipline, because when I finish telling you this story, it's going to blow your mind. Now, Anaheim Hills was definitely a sundown town, for sure, back then. So the lady does that the second time, the hand like that to me, like stop. I tell Jeff, I said, bro, let me call you back. I said, I think this woman wants me to shut up and get off my phone. I get off the phone. She didn't turn back around no more. After she was done checking out, we go up to the counter. She walks past me. She doesn't look at me. She gets to the door, and she does this. She turns around, looks at me. And she has a smirk like, and she walks out. I say to the guy, I said, bro, I said, is she a normal person? I said, did you? He said, man, yeah, that was weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know her, bro, but like she's some kind of really wealthy lady. Sorry about that. Somebody pulling up in my area. I'm always paying attention. He says she's some kind of wealthy lady, right? This is what he says to me. He says she's some kind of wealthy lady. I don't know. I know she has all kinds of maids and stuff. I say, well, how do you know that? He said, because she tells me sometimes she comes in. I said, bro, that was rude what she did. He says, I don't know, bro. I just work here, and she comes in here a lot, and I just know she has maids because she talks about her maids and how much she pays them. And I said, oh, okay. I could have told that woman, who the fuck you talking to? I'm going to show you how important it is as a black person, how we are every day having to watch the way we talk just to keep our jobs, just to keep the peace, because the smart black folks do this. It's definitely not no Sambo shit. We just have to do what we have to do to protect ourselves. So I didn't say nothing derogatory to this woman. I could have said, B-I-T-C-H. I could have said whatever. Shit. Why you doing your hands at me, lady? Who you think you? I could have said anything. So my wife at the time, I told her the story. She said, if I was there, I would have said this, and I would have said that. I said, well, it would have worked for you. You're an Asian woman. Y'all can get away with shit. But that shit wouldn't have worked for me. I couldn't have said nothing to that woman. And I said, who knows who she was anyway, because the guy said that she was a very wealthy woman. Now, dig this. Why is all this relevant? Why does all this connect? It connects because I'm showing you as a black person from day to day what we have to deal with and how we have to discipline ourselves to survive. So I go into a Target with my ex-wife a week later. We're in the Target, and it's packed. All kinds of wealthy people. You can tell they have nice wide screens, very high sedity. This was a high sedity Target. I've never seen a Target like this. But very, very powerful people. So I'm looking, down the aisles. I'm seeing where I want to go, and I see this woman. I see the woman, you guys. I see her, and I tell my wife at that time. I said, babe, oh, my God, that's her. She said, that's who? I said, that's the lady from the Radio Shack. She said, that's that bitch? I said, yeah, babe, that's her. She said, I should say something. I said, no, it's cool. The lady sees me. She smiles at me. But I see her. She smiles at me. She goes down a row. She comes down another row, and there's this guy with her. And he looks like a very important person. I don't know who he is. So I asked somebody in there. I said, who's that gentleman right there? And they said, oh, that's such and such politician, for such. Yeah, you don't know who that is? And I was like, nah. I mean, I kind of recognize the person. Her husband, this lady was the wife of a huge politician that lived in Anaheim Hills. I'm going to show you guys, as black people, how we have to. Now, can you imagine, had I said something crazy to that woman when I just moved up, had I even said, ma'am, that's rude the way you did me, even if I'd have just said that, she could have ran home, told her husband, yes, this black guy in the story, I felt very nervous. I felt, uncomfortable. He confronted me. He yelled at me. There was a possibility, had I said something to her, that could have been the reaction she had given. And I would have been defending myself, and I would have been driving one day, got pulled over, and all kinds of possible shit could have been made up and thrown on me and shit planted in my car. If this happens, I want you to understand. Or she could have said that day to her husband, babe, that's the guy from the store. That's the black guy that talked crazy to me. That's him right there. That's him. That's him. Hey, come here, sir. Can I talk to you? No, I don't need to say shit to you. It could have played down that way. But because I'm smart and because I am always playing scenarios 40 steps ahead, I won't make moves and just do random wild ass shit as a black person, because I know it can come back and bite me in the ass. It can bite us in the ass. That story is connected to the Sundown town because that is a sundown town. And me not knowing when I moved there. Now, it's a little bit different now, but it relatively is still ran the same way. It's a very small community. In Yorba Linda, anybody from California that don't know that, and the ones that do know what I'm saying. Yorba Linda, where Arnold Schwarzenegger lives, and all the pop Nixon, where Nick's house and Reagan's house, and then the Anaheim Hillside, those are very small communities. Can you just imagine, had I said something crazy to this woman and even confronted her in the smallest way and said, excuse me, ma'am, I really didn't like you putting your hands up in the air like that, like you're telling me to shut up. That's not cool. Even if I had said it in the most respectful way, she would have turned it up on me when she saw me later, for sure. This woman's husband was a very powerful politician. I'm not even going to mention the name. Very powerful politician. Do you know, had I done that, what problems that could have caused me living in Anaheim Hills? I used to sit back and count how many black people I used to see in Anaheim Hills. It was a game I played. Let me see how many black people I see in Anaheim Hills today. Now, we know the ball players live there, all the wealthy ball players. But I literally used to sit back and say, let me count how many black people I see day to day. Now, this was about to blow y'all mind. The whole time I lived in Anaheim Hills for almost 2 years. before I moved back to Vegas. The whole time I lived in Anaheim Hills, I not once came outside of my house except for to leave and go to Santa Monica or to Burbank to work in the studio. Head over to Rafelson's Media. I didn't even go outside because I remember the first week I was there, going outside was very weird, and the way people would look at me. I never enjoyed my house in Anaheim Hills, you guys. I never got to enjoy walking through the mountains that much. I never got to walk through the trails because I was so uncomfortable in Anaheim Hills. I felt out of place, not because I wanted to, but because that's the way I was made to feel the first day I went to my mailbox. Nobody spoke to me. None of the neighbors in Anaheim Hills were speaking to me. It was very uncomfortable. So uncomfortable that when I wasn't working for the company, I would come back to Vegas for the weekends, me and my ex-wife. Real story, you guys. Real story. So I call what I do verbal judo. I call it the way of dealing with another race outside of mine that possibly could be suppressing. So I've learned verbal judo and watching what I say to people, especially going random places, because we don't know who's who. But at the same time, we don't know who's extremely racist and we don't know who's extremely not. And when we're traveling, that still applies. Let's continue to read. Though they existed, the sundown towns, though they existed both in the north and south, sundown towns were especially prevalent in the Midwest and West. Now, I didn't even know that. Now, I'm reading you guys something I didn't know. I thought sundown towns were only a southern thing. I just got educated today. They said not just the north and south, but the Midwest and West, shattering the myth that racism was confirmed to the American South. Didn't I just say that? This one's about to blow you guys' mind. You guys remember the situation in Ferguson, Missouri. Ferguson, Missouri was once a sundown town. Did you guys know that? We're going to get into the 10 cities that were the sundown towns. Ferguson, Missouri was once a sundown town. According to history and social justice, white people living in Ferguson, they were known to block black residents living in the nearby town, Kinloch, from entering. Kinloch became the first black city incorporated in Missouri in 1948, but it was quickly met with opposition. White members would put up chains blocking the road so that the residents couldn't enter. This is deep. I didn't even know that. They would put up chains, you guys, so that you can't even enter the town. That's some extreme shit. After a certain time between 1940 and 1960, while Ferguson's white population grew about almost 400%, its black population was cut by 60%, the site noted. Damn, you guys, can you imagine getting on the freeway saying, we're going to go shopping in the next city, and you're met with a freeway that's blocked off with cement and chains stopping you from going to that city? I can't even see that shit. Let's continue to read. Many sundown towns have never publicly acknowledged their exclusionary past, and some retain the startling lack of diversity even today. This can affect everything from housing policy to school, demographics, economic opportunity, and community safety for people of color. Notably, Ferguson was the same place where 18-year-old Michael Brown would pass away at the hands of a white former Missouri police officer named Darren Wilson. Wilson was not charged for the fatal shooting of the teenager, who was unarmed, had his hands raised, according to many witnesses, but Wilson contended without credible proof that Brown had attacked him and that he had acted out of fear for his life during their encounter. And they continue to say, sundown towns may no longer be a reality. That's bullshit. But their haunting history still lives on. Let's name the 10 sundown cities. the towns you should know about. I don't believe that shit. What's you guys' thoughts? They're saying here, it's no longer. They're saying the sundown towns may no longer be a reality. That's super bullshit. What are you guys' thoughts about that? Let me read some of these comments before I continue. Gene Joseph said, what about the black communities that exist today that not even black people can go to at sundown? Gene, we're gonna have to get more into that, Gene. Thank you. Time says, Stone and family, may God keep blessings your family and your health and all upcoming opportunities that God is coming your way. Never lose faith. Brother Time, you always come in with the positivity, and I love that. Thank you. Leanne said it's BS. Damaged Kisses said, fuck that. Damaged Kisses said, is what I say. Leanne said, things still happen. Exactly. They talking about it don't exist no more. Y'all better go on with the bullshit. You want the status quo to believe that it don't exist, and you're the one that's created the status quo. It's like, what the fuck? Slim said, damn, near every major inner city is a G Slim. For real. Like, listen, like they want to act like this shit don't exist because they want us to shut up and not talk about it so they can get black folks caught up riding through these cities at certain times. That's the way I be feeling sometimes. The Big Dice Chronicle said, we have a sundown town down here in North Carolina, but we wish they would. Hey, let me read it again. The Big Dice Chronicle said, we have a sundown town right here in North Carolina, but we wish they would. Hey, the Big Dice Chronicles, I feel you on that. Salutations, family. Let me read some more comments. What do you guys think? Do you honestly believe that there are no longer any sundown towns? According to them, the sundown towns no longer exist. According to them, they don't exist anymore. Love Jones, what's up? Cherry P say we need our own minority-rich community. Now, there's a couple women I saw that are building an all-black city. Do I agree with that? I do and I don't. Do I believe that black people should have their own? I do. But I believe when we start separating, then it's kind of like, I mean, if they're telling us, go back to Africa like the guy told me on the live the other day, I get it. They're going to do that. But the separation could possibly cause even more problems. I would rather say that we just hop on the plane and all go back to Africa and let this economy crash. But to be in America and be in one town ruled blacks and another town whites, that's just more problems waiting to happen. That's my opinion. Dolores said, where'd Dolores? Dolores said something. She said, oh, Dolores deleted it. You deleted it, Dolores. What do you guys think? Do you really believe there's no more sundown towns? Okay, Linquisitive said, that's a lie. And I'm with you on that. That's bullshit, personally. Dolores said, there's a place here in Lancaster, Ohio, so there's still some sun. Exactly. There's tons of them. But they're saying, oh, sundown towns no longer exist. J. Bond said, if racism still exists, you should know that sundown towns exist. I'm in Georgia, and everyone knows the history of GA. Exactly. Robbie Jackson said, yes, they do. Sundown towns do exist. Missouri, 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 again, all white city in Missouri. Thank you. There it is. Damaged Kisses said, I'm sure plenty of places here in Texas, too, have sundown towns. Yes, they do. T-Rex said, take us back to Africa. Time said, victory, respect. Millar said, I still believe that there's still many sundown towns. See, nobody is agreeing with what this article says. Yak Diesel said, if they think that they're blind or lying. Yo, for real, like they think people just gonna believe that ain't no sun. We're gonna hide it by saying there's no sundown towns. Cherry P say, true, the produce can have this ish. The what? Say that again, Cherry. Barbara, what's up, Barbara? Javon says separation is a cause for racism. We as people need to be together. I do believe that. I believe if there's all black cities and all white cities, we're just going to make the problem worse. That's my opinion. I would say it'd be easy for black people to say if we all came together and say, hey, y'all, we going back to Africa. They're giving us our citizenship. Let's just get the fuck up out of here. But to be an American and say we're going to have black towns and white towns, y'all, that problem would just expand to a worse situation. Sweet Rain said, I work at the #1 hospital in the world. I'm always watching how people speak to staff and families. We stay under a microscope. Sweet Rain knows. We as African Americans have to watch what we say. Time said there's 2,400 sundown towns. Thank you, Time, for the research. Y'all see what I'm saying? But let me go back to this, what they're saying. Let's go back. It says sundown towns may no longer be a reality, but they're haunting towns you should know about. We're going to read the 10 in a minute. They say may no longer be a reality. Y'all full of shit. Who wrote this article? Cherry said the prejudice can have this whole ish. I'm with, listen, Cherry P, I feel you. If black people ever decide to take up Africa on the offer, America would be in trouble. Our country here where we're at would be in trouble. The economy would suffer. The economy would have a huge possibility of crashing. Because do we understand the contributions of black people that buy from cars to clothes to hair care product? And we can keep going to just anything in general. We're the biggest spenders. Out of every racial group and ethnic group, we are the top spending community. At such a small percentage, we're the top spending community. CC Funk 1 says, my brother lives in an all-white town. Wow. How does your brother deal with that? Has he had any situations happen? The Big Dice Chronicles said, Mayberry, North Carolina. Hey, I might have to come there to Big Dice Chronicles and visit. I might have to come and interview, bring my cameras and come there and interview, go to that town and interview some of the sundown town people. Yeah, I'll come see you, and then I might just have to come. I might have to just one of these days take my camera, pick up and go to one of these towns and interview one of those elders. Time said no more sundown towns is a segregation type of thing. I believe because I heard of that. Yeah, no more sun. Yeah, it's all a psychological thing they're doing, Brother Time. Barbara said they don't exist. Cherry P said if we had our own jobs, currency, organic food, guards, police, and police ourselves, it's just a disillusional thought. I do agree. But Cherry, you don't think that if we're here in America and we decide to separate, that's not going to increase the racism? Because now we're completely separating ourselves. Completely. Oh, let me read this. Yak Diesel just said something. You guys got to excuse me. Sometimes this chat goes fast as shit. Yak Diesel said, if I can go read it, Gary, Indiana used to be amazing, but there was whites and Latinos in our community, and it was good. By the way, many of us are from the country long before it was in America. This is Wakanda. Jaden said, 100% false, dude. You should research. Jaden, you got it. Must be a white person. No, don't delete Jaden's post, please. I wanted it to stay there. Somebody named Jaden said, what I'm saying is false. Jaden, you got to be one of those trolls that just happen to get on here and hear me talking. I suggest, with your little small-ass peanut head, to go and do some research. Because what I am reading to you is real. It's not made up. I am not a black man online just saying some black shit. Know that. Do your motherfucking research, because I've done mine. And I'm not here just spurring out a lie. The Big Dice Chronicle said, Bladenboro, North Carolina, and Conway, South Carolina, come on, Stone, you are more than welcome. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm serious about coming there, bringing my cameras, and just, asking, a Caucasian person for an interview and asking them about the history and other stuff. That would be cool. T-Rex said something. Let me see what T-Rex said. T-Rex said, where is that at? T-Rex said, hold on, T-Rex, I'm trying to find it. Damn, I missed it. T-Rex is crazy. I'm trying to find what you said, but stuff is moving so quick. T-Rex said, I've had an old white man while I was working late say to me, hurry up before it gets dark. Hurry up, boy, before it gets dark. Hey, boy, hurry up. T-Rex, what's your name, son? My name's T-Rex. T-Rex, son, hurry up before it gets dark out here. Don't let that darkness hit your ass, boy. That's how they used to tell him. Addicted said, we should have a black-owned and separated town that caters to all blacks. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they live there or elsewhere, but we get the benefit. I do agree with that. I do. And if they end up going through some shit, they got a place to go. I do agree with that. Brother Chill said, my boy 91 has an uncle, got his package cut off, put in his mouth. What? What? My boy in 1991, his uncle got his private part cut off, put in his mouth, poked out both eyes, handcuffed to the tree for dealing with a white woman, Danville, Virginia, no arrest to date. Wow, Brother Chill. God rest his spirit. God rest his uncle's spirit, Brother Chill. That was crazy. William Johnson, Brother Chill. That right there is painful to even hear. The fine music guy said Elvis was black after all. No, your mama was white after all. How about that? You think that shit funny? Why don't you bring your monkey ass up and let me bring you up on camera and you do some comedy for my people? All of you wannabe comedians, the shit you say is corny. Vegas is not hiring corny comedians. So go on with the bullshit, bro. Ain't nobody here for that corny shit you saying. Damage Kiss said humble. J Love said, must go now, people. On the note, stay safe. Thank you. Hey, J Love 619. I appreciate you, family. The Big Dice Chronicle said, they did that down here. What? That was in your town where that happened? In Bladenboro, North Carolina. No arrest because the sheriff did it because the black man impregnated his white granddaughter. Wow. 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 And wow. That shit is crazy. Yeah, that's the troll. Talking about Elvis is black after all. That shit wasn't even funny. Yo, Brother Chill. So my boy, the Big Dice Chronicle said that happened down in his city. So that was your friend's uncle, Brother Chill? Damage Kiss say, take care of you, love. The Big Dice Chronicle said, all facts, look it up, bro. And they never got justice for that? Beauty Dog Squisite, what's up? Listen, Sundown towns still do exist. Somebody came in here and said, that's a lie. That's a lie. But I know they wasn't a black person. They want us to believe that sundown towns don't exist. Motherfuckers, we know the sundown towns still exist. You can't run cap on us. I know you might have even been sincere when you said that's a lie, but you can't believe your lie. There's no way you would tell me that I'm lying when I'm reading the cities that they're saying. You might not think so because you might be white and it doesn't affect you. Of course you're going to think so. Just like white people think that black people shouldn't be complaining about what they go through. Beauty Dog Squishy says, sure, do. Deep in the South, not really deep. If you go a certain part, you can find it. Oh, I'm about to read the 10 cities, you guys. Y'all ready? Young Izzy Dot said, what are sundown towns? Izzy, are you black, white, Asian? What are you? Sundown towns are cities where black people could not be caught after a certain time. And if they were, then things were going to happen to them very bad, Izzy. Oh, thank you, Izzy, for asking. Izzy, if you were black, Latino, Jewish, Asian, and you went to a sundown town, they would lynch you, which meant that they were going to unlife you. And some of those towns still exist to this day. Thank you for asking, Izzy. We really appreciate that. We like when young people come here and ask questions. Raz11 said some parts of Georgia. Oh, Mississippi's off the hook now. Don't y'all forget Mississippi. Mississippi off the hook with it now. Divine Goddess say they have them here in California. Yeah, I do. I know there's some towns in Cali too. Libby said the recent one in Simi Valley with the beating of the black young adult. I heard about that. I'm going to cover that story. William Johnson, Brother Chill said, my buddy, it was his uncle, no justice even. Even the family got threats to leave the case alone per him. This is what he told me. He was also shit 5 times. He was shot 5 times. The white woman was separated. So he was pow 5 times. And the white woman was separated from her ex, Virginia, bro. Wow. Bro, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. Ike Love said, people flee when they see me. I pull up anywhere. Ike Love, what we talking about, Ike? Come on up in here righteous, y'all. What we talking about, Ike? What we talking about, family? What are we talking about? And why would you come up in here saying that? Cherry P say they will cut your jewels off and stuff it in your mouth. The brewing has begun and still brewing. Facts. Hey, you guys, I want you to watch the Ike moderators, Ike Love 6784. I don't know what he's talking about. Keep an eye on him. Let's go. I'm about to break down the sundown towns. Y'all ready for the names? Number 1, it says Anna, Illinois. We're going to break all the cities down. It says Anna, Illinois. Perhaps the most infamous locals say Anna stood for ain't no N-words, ain't no ninjas allowed. The town's reputation as a sundown town, write these down, y'all, as a sundown town dates back over a century. Census details obtained by History and Social Justice shows only 44 black people are living in Anna around 1870, but the number quickly diminished to 0 by 1880 and remained that way for almost 2 decades around 1909. A newspaper article from the Carbondale Free Press, which was cited by the outlet, featured a resident who spoke about the outright disdain that white people living in Anna had for black folks. The feeling against Negroes, that's what they said. The feeling against Negroes is high here. The town has 1 black family. The large stone quarry here has some 30 or 40 Negroes employed. This is what the man said. The article written in 1909 read, they will be warned to leave the vicinity. If the blacks remain, it is feared trouble will occur or happen to them. If black people did step foot into this town, they were told not to. Not to let the sun set on their black heads or black asses. That was Anna, Illinois. Number 2 city, Marion, Indiana. Marion is notorious for the 1930 lynching of 2 black teenagers, Thomas Shipp and Abraham Smith, on August 7, 1930. The 19-year-olds were publicly lynched. Oh, I remember that picture. You guys remember that picture with the 2 African-American men hanging? That's where that happened. That happened in Marion, Indiana. They were publicly lynched in the town's courthouse square while crowds of white residents watched the horrific act take place, according to Equal Justice Initiative. They were hanged due to accusations that they were involved in the unlifing of a white man and sexual impropriety against a white woman, the outlet noted. Marion remained hostile to black residents for decades afterwards. Marion, Indiana, you guys, 2nd. Here's the 3rd. Now, I know about this city because growing up in Chicago, I know about this city. Cicero, Illinois. I remember I'm going to tell y'all something about Cicero. True story when I was a young guy. I was a teenager. I remember I made a mistake and got on the L and ended up in Cicero and didn't realize that I was in Cicero. And those Italians was calling me every name in the book. And this white Jewish guy helped me get up out of Cicero to get me on the right train to get up out of there fast. Soon as I got off, immediately they were, hey, ninja, hey, you ninja, what you doing there, ninja? Don't you know you don't? And I was like, whoa, whoa. I was like, I got off at the wrong place, and I'm just being attacked verbally. And the Jewish dude, and I know he's Jewish because he told me, he whispered it to me. He walked with me back to the train station to make sure that I got on that train safe. God bless that, wherever that man is to this day. God bless him. That was in Cicero. Black folks knew in Chicago, you don't go to Cicero. They'll lynch the shit out of you. But real story, real story. Let's read about Cicero. Cicero has well-documented history of being a sundown town, a suburb of Chicago. Cicero made headlines in 1951 when a white mob attacked a building where a black family tried to move in. According to Cicero Independent, the summer of 1951, Harvey Clark Jr., a black bus driver from Chicago, rented an apartment in Cicero. Dig that. In Cicero, Illinois. At that time, Cicero was predominantly white, well, a white sundown town. There was a lot of Italians living in Cicero, too. I want y'all to know that. A lot of Italians, right? According to Cicero Independent, the guy rented an apartment, and black people were often harassed or attacked after dark. When the Clark family attempted to move in, Cicero police blocked their entry. The police blocked their entry and threatened to arrest them. The Clarks sued the police department, and a court later ruled that they must be allowed to move in and receive protection from anyone trying to force them out. On July 11, 1951, the Clark family moved in under a court order. The same day, a white mob of up to 4,000 people gathered. They threw the Clarks' belongings out of a third-story window, set them on fire, and tried to burn down the building. As recorded in Cicero, revisited from the images of the American series, one woman in the crowd told a reporter that they're doing exactly right. They're only protecting our homes. That's what she said about them burning down the black people's property. This is Cicero, Illinois. This is pretty much Chicago, a suburb. Same place I made a mistake and got off the L train at. Here's the next one, number 4. Appleton, Wisconsin. And I'll tell y'all something crazy. Appleton has had a long reputation for being unwelcoming to black residents and visitors, with a few black families living there well into their 21st century. One resident told History Social Justice, it is my understanding that until around 1954, Appleton, Wisconsin had an ordinance prohibiting Negroes from living within the city limits. Census dates shows that only 5 black families were living in Appleton in the 1950s, a significant drop from 18 families in the 1900s. Wow. There was only 18 in the 1900s, and then it dropped to 5. Well, it makes sense, right? So that was Appleton, Wisconsin. Here's the 5th one. 5th city, Darien, Connecticut. Darien, Connecticut, sundown town. Frequently cited in studies of exclusionary zoning and racial segregation. I want you guys to write these down. Darien, notorious for excluding not only black residents, but Jewish residents, as well as other races in the 1920s. According to EBSCO, several community groups in the area asked homeowners not to sell to Jews or blacks, while some realtors vowed not to meet with anyone whose name suggested they were Jewish or black folks. Jewish visitors were not allowed to be in the city after sundown, as well as African Americans. Damn, y'all. That was in Connecticut. Damn, that was Darien, Connecticut. That's number 5. Number 6. Levittown, New York. Levittown, New York. Sundown town. Levittown, New York. The post-war suburb was built with racial exclusion in mind. Black families were denied, this shit is crazy, y'all. Black families were denied the opportunity to buy homes in the area for years due to discriminatory housing policies. Giorgio Agolini, the director of Own a Tale of Two Americans, detailed Levittown's difficult history of redefining in his 2022 documentary during an interview with Metro Focus that year. The filmmaker revealed how laws were specifically written in lease-to-own contracts, including blacks and other minority groups from owning property there. Al-Jalini explained that the laws prohibited many excluded community members from building generational wealth for their families post-Depression era. Once again, you guys, that's Levittown, New York. I'm sure the ones in New York know that town. I don't know how it is to this day. I don't know how any of these towns are to this day, but I got a story to tell you when I'm done. It says you have a situation where there's a huge demand for housing coming out of the World War II era. He explained the government creates a series of ambitious proposals to invigorate the economy. They had to pump up the economy in ways to prop it up. They did that through housing. It really worked, but it also for only particular groups of people. Y'all, man, I will never get it why there is such hate and disdain for black people. I mean, I know as a black person, but I don't know why they keep it going. Number 7. We're at 7. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Now, I've heard about how La Crosse, Wisconsin operates. Here it is. Another sundown town, they say. And was, they say. And people are saying, oh, maybe it isn't anymore. For much of the 20th century, La Crosse remained an overwhelming white population from 1852 to 1906. The city's black population hovered between just 1% to 2%. Now, understand as you're hearing me talk, I am reading facts. I am not on here just reading. I am reading you the numbers. According to the La Crosse Public Library, between 1910 and 1990s, the black population dropped to below 0.007%. In the 80s, the U.S. Census listed La Crosse as the 5th widest metropolitan area in the country. Historians attributed this demographic pattern to widespread anti-black racism in 1922. The La Crosse Tribune reported that the Ku Klux Klan had 500 members stationed in the city, adding to the anti-black sentiment in the area. To make right for past harms, on December 8, 2016, La Crosse mayor and former mayor signed a resolution formally acknowledging the city's history as a sundown town and committed to moving beyond the city's dark legacy. Now, this is the first one out of all the ones I've read that said they did a proclamation to say they're no longer a sundown town. That was pretty cool. La Crosse, Wisconsin. That was awesome that the city mayor did that. I mean, that's honorable. So to the La Crosse city mayor, that is honorable. Here's number 8, you guys. Y'all ready? I want you to write these down. Number 8, Mena, Arkansas. Well, we already know how Arkansas gets down. Mena openly marketed itself as a sundown town in the early 20th century. Postcard promoting the area of the town used the slogan, cool summers, mild winters, no blizzards, and no Negroes. Let me read that again. Arkansas was standing 10 toes down on their racism, you guys. Mena, Arkansas. On their postcard, it stated this: cool summers. I would love to get a hold of one of those old postcards. Cool summers, mild winters, no blizzards, and no Negroes. If anyone is from Mena, Arkansas, and you got family members that still have a copy of that postcard, please mail it to me, or please get to me and get it to me. I would just love to have that for historical factors. a postcard that reads, cool summers, mild winters, no blizzards, and no Negroes. It's fucking unbelievable. I can't even believe that shit. This blunt and racist message made clear that black people were not welcome in the community. Damn. Here's another one, number 9. Maryville, Missouri. That name sounds like a sundown town. Maryville, Missouri. Maryville, Missouri, y'all. Maryville, Missouri. Maryville, Missouri. Here we go. Maryville, Missouri, y'all. Let's read. As late as 1958, Maryville's leader were still using racist rhetoric to promote the town. To potentially businesses, the chairman of the Industrial Development Corporation reportedly told a group of investors, we don't have any Negroes here in Maryville. We don't have any Negroes here in Maryville. We had to lynch one back in 1931, and the rest of them just up and left. Let me tell you one more time. I'm going to read it to you again. Maryville's leader, it might have been Maryville, I don't know who it was, but I'm going to read it to you. This is what it said. He said, we don't have any niggers here in Maryville. We had to lynch one back in 1913, and the rest of them niggers just up and left. You hear what I said? The rest of them niggers just up and left. This is what he said. This is what he said. Maryville, Missouri, mayor. Is what he said. What he said to the businessmen that wanted to come in and open businesses. They wanted to develop more white businesses. So he said that to them. Okay? I want y'all to hear. This is what he said. Maryville, like many sundown towns, used the kind of violence and exclusionary practice to keep blacks residents out of their town. The towns were essentially an informal version of redefining and contributed significantly, God damn it, I'm tongue twisted today, significantly to the great migration as black families fled to cities where they could live with more safety. Hit the hearts, y'all. Y'all sitting here watching me. Now, ain't nobody donated on those super chats, so at least hit the hearts. Y'all just like this. Give me the hearts. Let's keep the algorithm going. Y'all hit the hearts, y'all. Come on now. Number 10. Now, this is not going to be a surprise to most people. This number 10 is not going to be a surprise to most people. Y'all ready? Number 10. Biter, Texas. How many people have heard that name? Biter, Texas. How many people have heard that name in the press? Right? Different little things that happen. Biter has long carried a reputation as a haven for the Ku Klux Klan, according to CNN, Walter Douglas. The East Deep Texas Council of Governments recalled witnessing a Klan rally there during his childhood. While Biter officials argue that Klan events brought in members from across the region, the town became closely associated with white supremacy. One of the most notorious things that happened in 1993 when the federal government attempted to integrate Biter's public housing by moving in a small number of black families. The Klan responded by marching through the town. Within months, the black families moved out and the town's racist reputation became further cemented, and they never returned. Not even to visit. Decades after the town became integrated, they think that a racist town, said Douglas during a 2006 interview with CNN, they think when you go through Biter, you better be careful. And most blacks still refuse to stop. Now, I'm going to say something about Biter. As part of its efforts to improve its image, the Biter School District put up a billboard featuring a black student to promote diversity. After Hurricane Katrina, the town offered shelters to displaced African-American families. Despite these efforts, Biter's reputation lingers. As previously reported, a black truck driver named Gideon recently posted a viral TikTok video in 2022 describing his experience delivering a load there. He said everyone he knew in Texas told him, do not go to Biter. He went anyway. But before arriving, he saw what he described as a doll of a black man wrapped in a Confederate flag hanging from a tree by his neck. In 2020, I'm going to show you how the powers of the universe and the Almighty works. In 2020, Biden was struck by a devastating hurricane. That's pretty damn interesting, isn't it? Pretty damn interesting. Wow. Those are your 10 cities, you guys. Those are your 10 sundown cities. Now, I'll tell you something. I saw a YouTuber with his girlfriend and his camera guy go to Biden at night. And I thought the kid was kind of crazy that he did it at night. But he went. He went around the town. He hung out. A lot of white people told him, be careful. A lot of white people told him, if I was you, I wouldn't be here. And then some white people told him, it's not like that anymore. Things are different here. But he dared to do it, and he did it. And he recorded it on his YouTube channel live. Now, let me tell you guys something about sundown towns. Let's go back to one particular town. I think it was Anna, Illinois. Okay? La Crosse. Let's go back to Anna, Illinois. And a reason why I have something to share with you. This is crazy. Okay? Cicero in Anna, Illinois. Now, you guys got to remember, I grew up in Illinois. Now, me and my buddies used to date white girls from Champaign, Illinois, from Taylorville, Illinois. Anybody from Illinois know these towns. These are small white towns. Now, if my buddy Omar is on here, he's an attorney now, a good friend of mine. Omar, if you're on here, please comment. Or if you see this video live, please comment. We were all dating white girls when we were young. High school, middle school, high school. Not knowing the dangers of the shit we was doing. Now, let me tell y'all something. This is how stupid we were back then. We were young, stupid black men doing stupid shit as young teenagers. We were hanging out in these small white towns, parking down the street, waiting for the girls to come to our car. Because not because we were scared of their parents, we just didn't want their parents to see that we was black, and they might not want their daughters dating nobody black. RS 101. You talking about I covered a story about one of those, and it wasn't true. RS 101, that story about the missing black truck driver wasn't true. I talked to the guy with the actual name, unless it's a new name. But this guy was leaving Arizona and disappeared in Arkansas. Is that the one you're talking about? If so, his name is Eric Darnell. That wasn't a true story. Manifest Reality said Fitzgerald, Georgia is known as another. Barbara said, I moved to Arkansas in 1997, and the state workers got a flyer tucked in their paychecks. It read, blacks only get into heaven by, wow, damn, are you serious? Did you get one of those, Barbara? Lavelle Kimball said, I live in Springfield later. What part of Springfield? Springfield, Illinois, Springfield, Massachusetts. Barbara say action, and when they get there, they pollute it with barbecue sauce and watermelon seeds. I only lasted 9 months and went back. Wow. Listen, yeah, RS 101, it was a fake story. Whoever that TikToker was, that was all a lie. I talked to the Eric guy. He's an educator. It wasn't a black missing truck driver. He's an educator. He's an educator, and he's from the DMV. Very successful, very popular, very well respected. So, yeah, that was a lie. So let me tell you guys this story. Me and the guys in my group, R&B group I was in, we dated nothing but white girls back then, right? That's all we dated, the whole group. We used to go to these little towns and be sitting in the car at night. Time says Stone, Emmett Till had connections to Chicago, and a lot of people from Mississippi migrated to Chicago. And yes, they sure did, Brother Time. Barbara said, no, I didn't get one. It was published in the newspaper, but they never held anyone. I'm going to try to see if I can find that. I want you to understand some of the stuff. Now, this is before people was really dating outside of their race. The late 70s, early 80s. You didn't see a lot of white and black people dating. You didn't. Ask anybody. You didn't see. Love from the UK. Brother Luke, what's happening? Good to see you. You know I love my UK folks. So here I am. We should be able to love whoever we want. The truth, right? We should be able to date whatever race we choose. But here, me and my buddies are young, ignorant, young black boys putting ourselves in harm's way without even knowing we were doing it. It wasn't what we chose. Takesha Brown, we didn't choose it because it wasn't black women to choose. We were a group. We were signed to the New Kids on the Block's management. Those are all the girls that were at our shows. There was no young sisters at our shows. And the town we lived in was there was just a lot of white girls that liked us. It wasn't like we made a choice back then and say, we're only gonna date white girls. We didn't do that. That's just what happened. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happened. But the deeper story to this is not about, we should be able to date whoever we want. Honestly, the truth. Black women should experience dating whoever they want. Black men should be able to date whoever they want. But know who you are, though. Don't date people and forget that you're black. Don't date people and forget you're white. That's all I be telling people. Know that you're black. If you're dating a white girl, and if you're dating a white guy as a black woman, know that you're black still. Just as long as you know that, you're good. But listen, that's when I was a young teenager. I think we were like 15, 16, 14. Yeah, 14, 15, 16. Listen, one of our friends had a little car, his driver's permit, and we would be in these towns, y'all. Rainmaker said, it sounds good, but that's a slippery slope depending on where you're from. The Rainmaker, and that's my point. I didn't know. Time said the New Kids on the Block was the first boy band to put the other boy bands on, and there's a difference between a boy band and an R&B group like New Edition. I keep telling them, yes. Now, Time, you got to remember during that period of time, the people I was dealing with created NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Johnny Wright, who was the MC when we would be on tour, was the guy that went and created the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. He was the MC of the whole New Kids tour. CC Funk once said, never forget what you are. I'm going to show you what young black boys do, especially back in the day. And we wasn't thinking. We just liked girls, y'all. We didn't care if they were white or purple. If they liked us, we liked them. We were young boys. You know how young boys are. So we would be in these small white towns, parked 2 houses down, waiting for the girls to come out. And they would come and we'd go out, hang out and have fun and go back and drop them off. Do you guys understand the position we were putting ourselves in? RS11 said no social media and internet back then, none. We had pagers and, you had those landlines. Time said, yes, Stone, you are a pioneer in this music industry, my brother. And if a young artist comes into the music industry, they can learn so much wisdom and knowledge from you. And you know what, Brother Time? This is why I try to help the people that really want help. Stephen King said payphones. Hey, Stephen King, y'all remember we used to be on the phone calling our girlfriends and your mom would pick up the phone? And then sometimes you'd have to go down and get on the payphone hoping that you had some change because your mom and your sisters is on the phone or keep interrupting while you talking. Victory said dangerous. Manifest Reality said New Kids, they were. Those are my buddies. And New Kids, Marky Mark and all of us grew up together. The group I was in, we all was around each other. Time said my mom would pick up the phone and say, you don't pay no bills. You don't pay no bills in here. Put that phone down, boy. RS11 said living legend. RS11, I'm humble. I'm respectful. But I've been there and done that, and I'm still in the trenches. We were managed by Dick Scott Entertainment, the group I was with. The same management company as the New Kids on the Block. They managed us, Tiffany, Perfect Gentleman, Rick West, Ready for the World, Brenda K. Starr. Sweet Rain said, I still love NKOT. Listen, those are good experiences for me. I'm just going to tell y'all. Back in the day, those were some of the best experiences. Being out on the road on tour, seeing that tour that big was crazy. The Rainmaker said, when you grow up in a racially charged town, it's different. It's different now, but early years, they are worlds. Oh man, I can't. That shit it's going so fast, y'all. I'm sorry. I was trying to read that. Hold on, let me go back some. See if I can read it. Okay, Rainmaker said, you grow up in a racially charged town. It's different. It's different now, but early years, they were the world's mindset didn't exist in them small towns. And it can be, yo, listen, the Rainmaker. CC Funk was say, you don't pay no bills in here. Time said, I was Fenway for New Kids on the Block and New Edition, great concerts. And let me tell you, there was a lot of Caucasian, beautiful type of women. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Let me tell you guys something about the New Kids on the Block tour back then. That was the craziest tour to be around. David Vicker said, tell the man we have arrived. We are the chosen people. We are the bishops. Brother David, thank you for that. The Manifest Reality said, yes, in the 80s, we're still doing our own thing. It was really different. Listen, I didn't know Leanne. I think Leanne mentioned something. Damage Kid said, I generally really don't understand why individuals choose to feel some personal rejection when people date outside. Yeah, they shouldn't. There is nothing wrong. Please listen. If you have not dated out of your race, I don't care what nobody say. God made all people. If he meant for us to only deal with our race, he would have only made one particular color. Think about this. Robbie, I'm not Morris Day, and please don't get on here and be funny because it's not a channel for comedy. You'll be blocked. Okay, come in with respect. If you want to do comedy, I will kindly bring you up and come on camera, show your face, and I'll let you do comedy, and we're going to see how funny your ass really is. Now, you know, motherfucker, I ain't Morris Day, you dumbass motherfucker. Stop it. Anyway, let's keep going. You got the best of both worlds, Victory. Now, I do understand some people feel like white people should stick with white people, black people should stick with black people. Asians should stick with Asians. Mexicans should stick with Mexicans. Self-preservation of your race. That's what a lot of people say, right? I get it. Hey, Charles Hudstep is funny. He said, ever thought about doing a rock album? Like, guess what, Charles? I got a whole rock album I never released, Brother Charles. And it's fucking incredible. It's freaking amazing. I was in a black rock band called Gypsy Brown. My drummer is actually on my channel. He comes in here sometime. His name is King Zilla. I was in an all-black rock band called Gypsy Brown, and I do have a whole rock album I never released. But it's soulful, and it is incredible. I am also a member of the Black Rock Federation Coalition, Black Rock Coalition. Cherry says, Stone don't play. No, not at all. Not at all. I am. You know what? I'm going to release it, Brother Charles, and when you hear it, Brother Charles, when I tell you, it's incredible. I got to go back and listen to it and tighten some things up, but I am going to release it, though. You're right. I don't know why I didn't release it. I have no idea. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to pretend like I know why I didn't. I just never did. I only released my R&B and funk stuff. Robbie said, I'm not trying to be funny. Seriously, I'm sorry. What is your name? I am looking at your, go read my channel description. I ain't gonna play no games with you, family. Just read my channel description and Google my name. And there you go. You'll have who I am. Now I do know Sir Morris, but I'm not kind to, people trying to be jokeful when I'm talking about serious issues. Joseph said, this bro, not the weekend, more like weekday. Exactly. Manifesto say 2 Live crew changed the game. RS11 say, can we hear people of rock music, please? I don't have it. Damn. Hold on. Let me see if I have one song on here. I'm not sure. Time says, Stone, I always thought music was something your heart and soul should be into, not what the record labels tells you to do. If you don't feel good about your music, most respect to Lauryn Hill. Yeah, facts. You got to do what feels good. Manifest Reality said, yes, let me tell you, it was entirely different. Charles said, you should release it. Rock bands go hard as far as supporting artists. You know what? And I'm going to do that. I don't know if I have a song in here. Hold on. No, I don't. I thought I had one in this phone, but I don't. But what I'll do tomorrow when I go on, I'll bounce it to the other phone and I'll play it so you guys can hear it. Brother Charles, I'll make sure I play it. Okay, so let me get back to what I was saying. Dig this. So in the 80s, we would be in these cities hanging out with these girls who just happen to be white girls, just as country white girls as they can be. As country as they were young, we were young, and we didn't care about if the family knew about. We wasn't even thinking about sundown towns because there was no internet back then. We weren't even thinking about that. Look at how I ended up in Cicero by mistake, being on the L train. Look at how I ended up in Cicero by mistake. We weren't thinking there was no internet to find this shit out. Victory said, God bless. Victory, listen, I was very lucky because we pulled up to many all-white towns, me and my buddies. Imagine a whole bunch of young black guys in the car these days pulling up to all-white town to see their daughter. Right now, let's imagine 4 black guys pulling up to all-white sundown town to see their white girlfriends. Yak Diesel say, yeah, you'll learn a lot spending time with different types of people. The world is larger than where you're from. Yeah, you got to, how are you going to be? RS11 said Crystal Lake. Barbara, what's up? Rainmaker said, not what I think, it's facts, not feelings. Just imagine being a young black man dating outside of your race, and you're going to an all-white town, and you're not even right today to a sundown town, a real serious one. Chef Banner said, I used to drive with Atlas Map. Yeah, I know, but, I mean, most people did too, but we're talking about like the smaller towns, Chef Banner, where black people were not permitted to go to sundown towns. And I was telling them the story when I was younger, how me and my buddies dated white girls. And we used to go to these small towns not realizing we were possibly putting ourselves in harm's way and didn't even care. Charles said, I grew up with Erykah Badu here in Dallas. I'm a white guy. She didn't give a shit. Modern day seems a lot more racist than it did back in it. Exactly, Brother Charles. I love Erykah. She goes outside the box as well as I do. Because in my live shows, I add rock songs to my live show. So my live shows, you see me, I'm always adding a couple of my rock songs. Anna Mae Lee said, what's a sundown town? Anna Mae, are you black? Are you Hispanic or Asian? A sundown town is places where Jewish, black people, Jewish people, Asian people, and Hispanics could not go, or they would be hung, lynched, unalive, beaten, and et cetera, et cetera. Hey, hold on, you're a black male? And you didn't know about sundown towns? You're joking with me, right, brother? Anomaly. Are you serious, Anomaly? Oh, okay, Chef Glenn. Black people, Jewish folks, Hispanics, and Asians could not go to sundown towns. We weren't permitted. They would unlife us if we were there. That was what they did. That was the thing back then. They did that to us. Anomaly said, I know what it is. I just don't believe in. Well, it doesn't matter if you don't believe in that. I don't believe in it either, but it exists. I just gave 10 sundown cities that were prominent sundown towns. I just broke it all down. You missed it. And there's still some that exist to this day. There's actual people, Anomaly, in my comments that live in sundown towns. I know you don't believe it. I know us black people, it's a lot of shit we don't like to believe. But you need to know about it, even if you don't believe it. I got family in Knoxville, Tennessee. Yeah, catch the replay, Anomaly. It's just something you need to know. We all need to know. There's sundown towns all across America still. Serene said, I still wonder why those towns exist. Serene, because they want to continue that concept. They want to continue that legacy, and that's why they still exist. And some of those old folks still alive. And the ones that ain't alive, they passed it on to people our age to keep it going. You got to remember, their sons and daughters are about our age, 50s and 40s. They passed it on. Some are keeping that legacy going. Lisa said, I totally understand I was only black of a student body at St. Mary's in Sandusky, Ohio. I didn't know color and never knew about, sorry, God damn, this thing is moving so quick. Lisa Coffey says she never knew about color and never think about today. Actually, it taught me to deal and move in this world. Yes, I will honestly say, had I just only been raised around black people. Okay, you guys, Chef Glenn says he's so lost. I don't get it. All you got to do is look at the title, Chef Glenn. I have no idea how you're lost if I'm saying sundown towns. The subject was 10 sundown towns that changed the face of the African-American history. How is that? How are you lost? In those sundown towns, black people, Jewish people, Hispanic people, and Mexican people were not allowed. How is that confusing? How could you be lost when I'm clearly stating the facts? I'm not confusing in the way that I'm speaking. Leanne said, how can you not believe in something that's real? Because it is real. Auntie Mickey said, oh, wait, Auntie Mickey, that went by quick. Hello, Auntie Mickey. I was trying to read that. Auntie Mickey said, damn it. I'm sorry, you guys. This chat room would go so quick. Listen, I need the hearts, you guys. I need the hearts. And I need the likes. There's way too many people on here. And look, we ain't even got the likes. We said, what are y'all doing, man? Hit like on the video and give me the heart so we can keep this algorithm pumping. Come on, man. If you're not donating Super Chat, the least you can do is show love by hitting the heart and hitting like on this video. Anomaly said, what did he say? Selville Gatlinburg. What? Auntie Mickey, if I missed what you said, I'm sorry, because this chat room's moving so quick. Where's Leanne from? Leanne? Anomaly wants to know where you're from. Victory said, watch the March on Wall Street, August 28, 2025. National Action Network on the pushback on some of the new policies. Sign up for email updates. Facts. Come on, y'all. Ike Love, if you're coming up in here with the bullshit, you're about to get blocked. I'm about to read the shit you just said. So Ike Love wanted to know why. Why what, Ike Love? Why? Why what? Why are there sundown towns? Why are there still some sundown towns? You got to be clear. Why do we get on YouTube and speak in these ways that it's like you're speaking like in like these little parables or some shit? Why? What did it do? Or when did what? Like, come on, y'all, finish our sentences out. Addicted to the hustle say, I'm from Michigan and my brother works in a sundown town. Y'all hear this? In Indiana right now, he tells me some of the things he encounters. Now, listen, my brother addicted to the hustle just broke some shit down for y'all that don't think that there's still sundown towns. Read what he just said. Addicted to the hustle. Thank you, family. Anomaly say, just name some towns where I'm from. Okay. Anomaly, are those sundown towns? Because a minute ago you said you didn't know what sundown towns were. Dylan's Road Redemption said, never heard of sundown towns till recently. Dylan, really? You know what? Dylan, are you African American? It's so interesting. Out of all the people that are black that I'm seeing that never heard of it. This is why it's important to educate yourself. And read, you guys. Y'all got to be, you know, what happens if you end up in one of these towns and not know the history and some shit happened to you? You driving through there at night. Pretty Brown Eyes say, hey, Stone, you know I hit the like button. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Riz11 said, is that currently today? No, the 10 I read are, they're saying historically those were the top 10. Now, a couple of them have changed their policies for sake of rebranding the city. Michael S. Ryan said, what's a sundown town? See, this is interesting. I love today because, Michael, are you African American, brother? Sundown towns are towns where African American, Jewish people, Asian people, and Hispanic people could not go. And if you went, then it could mean your life. It could mean your life indefinitely, because they're going to run you up out of there, or they're going to run you into the ground at that time. And still there's some now still around. Leanne said, I'm from a few places. Leanne just told you where she's from. Victory said, luckily I didn't get off the plane late night, early morning, next flight. I survived. Yes, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you didn't, Victory. Victory said, this is a serious adult conversation on a clean channel. Don't come here playing. Victory. Lisa said, I want this information. So stop coming here playing games, y'all. You're going to be blocked. You come in here with some corny, whack shit, you're going to be blocked. If you're not coming here to learn, stay the fuck up out my channel. Manifest Reality said, hold on. Yes, it's a racism town, Chef Vanna. That's a fact. That's exactly what it is. Lisa Cappy said, I want this information from my family and my friends, so stop coming here with y'all bullshit. Cherry said, run out of gas over there, what it do? What to do? Yeah, you're going to be better be good at talking or running. I don't know about now, but back then for sure. Auntie Mickey said, once again, some folks don't want to educate themselves, but would rather someone educate them. Stop being lazy. Facts. Manifest Reality said, those that are saying they don't understand or believe in racism, I would suggest to ignore. Exactly. Because those of you that are coming on here saying, you don't understand, or it can't be, oh, I'm lying, oh, I'm making this up, you're very uneducated. I will say that. You're highly uneducated. Because I am not just on here speaking from me, just from me. They come in late and want Stone to rewind. Exactly. Y'all want me to go over shit that I've already talked about? Donate. And I will regurgitate what I just said for the ones coming in late. Manifest say they are trolls. Yeah, trolls, learn something today. We're going to have the troll comedy hour one of these days. Old Dirty Cosmo says, some of these folks coming in here stop learning new things in their teens. Ricky, yes, they did. Old Dirty Cosmo, they did. They stopped learning when mullets went out is when they stopped learning. Leanne said, Mississippi, where family members still live who didn't move on to Chicago with the rest, I can't visit them anymore. How come you don't visit them, Leanne? Manifest said, this information is clear and understandable and verifiable. I am not on here for the cap, y'all. Anomaly said, take a look at a real sundown town. There's a lot of them, Anomaly. There you go. There's a lot of them. Auntie Mickey said, my 11-year-old grandson knows what a dog one sundown town is. Good grief. Exactly. But we've been getting a lot of older folks coming in saying they didn't know, black folks. So a lot of black people probably really don't know, which I'm glad we could share this with them. Auntie Mickey, this is crazy. Rainmaker said, like someone sat around and made up lynching. Exactly. Like we just sitting here talking about lynching like it's a folklore story. Anomaly say they just backwood. Anomaly, I don't know quite how old you are, but you sound like a youngster. Michael Stanley say, how do you think this would be if roles were reversed, blacks hanging whites after sun goes down? Michael, are you white or black? I want y'all to read what Michael just said. Are you black or white, Michael? I don't think they would like it if it was happening to them. On the other hand, they would be upset. And guess what? They would know the facts. They would be telling us how it's not right. Ignorance is bliss. Yeah. Listen, don't push the maybe. Said, baby, it's not that they don't know. They just being ignorant. These motherfuckers know. They know. It's all good. Anomaly, you just got to come in here and understand. Everybody in my chat are intellectual folks. Intellectual white folks in here, intellectual black folks. That's why we can have a adult conversation. Okay, no, Brother Michael, I understood what you were saying. You're right. They wouldn't like that, Brother Michael Stanley. They would be raising hell. And guess what? It would be on CNN. It would be on Fox. It would be on every news outlet. They wouldn't have to promote it. They would have a system that would be talking about the injustice done to their people who are getting lynched. And that's the truth. You guys, Manifest Reality said, like, share, subscribe, hit my notification. Come on, you guys. Share the video, hit like, hit the hearts. Hey, Jay, I might have missed that one. I'm sorry. Anomaly say I'm from South Carolina. Anomaly, there's some sundown towns that your way. The Inquisitive said, this is good information. I heard of a sundown town, but still learning a lot. There's a lot of them still out here. Old Dirty said a civil adult conversation. Absolutely. Thank you. Ricky, that's exactly what we're about here. I appreciate you, brother. Lisa said it's real. Read it's fundamental. Go to Mississippi, and that said, and I said that thing about the state is a lot of people of color will not speak up. I'm glad my parents left. Yeah, Mississippi, you got to be careful what you say even to this day. It's still ranting the good old boy network. Robbie Jackson, thank you, family. Hey, man. All I'm going to say is this. You better take this information and you better use this information. That's all I'm going to say to y'all. Like, we ain't just sitting there playing no games. The Rainmaker said younger generations carry the mindset forward as well, acting like it's only the old folks pushing it. It is off base. The mindset gets passed down from generation to generation. That's what Rainmaker said. CC Funk said, my like says 31. I was like, number 31. Get the likes up, you guys. Come on, man. Auntie Mickey said, folks can learn about the KKK in Idaho. They still alive and well. Listen, the KKK is still kicking it. They still doing them. We're going to move on to the next story. I'm going to show you why what I just said was important. This next story falls into that category. Here it is. What happened to Giovanni Pelletier's family? What happened to Giovanni Pelletier? The family demands answers after the teen's body reportedly was found in a pond. Let's get into this story. This kid was 18 years old, you guys. African American. Let's dissect this. And let's hashtag for justice. The family of Giovanni Pelletier is struggling to put the pieces together behind his mysterious death. On August 9th, Bridget Pelletier, the 18-year-old's mother, took to Facebook to confirm his death one day after authorities found a decomposed body. Thank you for the boss lady. Is that boss lady that just donated? Let me see. Boss lady, hold on. That boss lady? No, Leanne. Leanne, thank you for the $10 donation. You know I always appreciate you. Thank you very much for always holding it down. I appreciate you for that. Okay, so look. They found his decomposing body in a retention pond near Interstate 75 off of Road 70. Now dig this, you guys. This still falls in the category of what I was saying earlier. In Manatee County, Florida. Now, there's a lot of sundown towns in Florida. Amazingly, it was discovered in the same area where the teen was last seen. Could this be him just making a mistake falling? We're going to get into it. Could this be foul play? We don't know yet. He was last seen traveling en route to Brevard County, according to WFTV number 9. She said, my son was recently found after a desperate search by our family alone, and we are still facing an active investigation into his death. Bridget penned, I am living every parent's worst nightmare, the mother said, trying to find the strength to give him the goodbye he deserves. We ask that you please respect our privacy at this time. Somebody else just donated. Who was that? Let me see. Let me give you your shouts out. $4.99. Linquisitive, thank you for the $4.99 donation. You are truly appreciated for that. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She said, we're trying to give my son the goodbye he deserves. We ask everyone to please respect our privacy at this time as we try to navigate this for 4 younger siblings. He's got 4 younger sisters and brothers. The Pelletier family noted in a change.org petition that's a family friend found Giovanni's body. So a friend of their family found the body, not law enforcement. Following their grueling 7-day search, a friend found the body. The police didn't find the body, y'all. 7 days of search, and a friend found the body. They are now demanding that the FBI get involved to help them fill in the gaps behind the teen's shocking death. This case spans multiple counties. Now, dig this. This case spans multiple counties involving suspected gang affiliation and may include interstate elements, all reasons why the FBI should be involved. The campaign stated without proper investigation, key evidence may be lost forever, and those responsible may never be held accountable, allowing misinformation and investigative gaps to stand set, and it could set a dangerous precedent for every missing person in the case in Florida and beyond. Authorities from the Manatee County Sheriff's Office told People they primarily determined that the remains were Giovanni's as they were too decomposed for a positive identification from the medical examiner's office. Notably, officials said there was no immediate evidence of foul play. An autopsy is scheduled and the investigation is still ongoing. Let's get deeper into it. It all started with a distressing text message. Giovanni disappeared Friday, August the 1st, after traveling to Florida with his mother, her fiance, Jeremy Brown, and his siblings. Before the trip, Giovanni had joined a text chat with relatives on his father's side, arranging for some cousins to pick him up in Inglewood and take him to his grandfather's home in Brevard County. Over 3 hours away, according to the ABC News, Giovanni was hoping to reconnect with his relatives on his biological father's side, who is currently incarcerated. We had arranged to meet with 3 of his cousins from that side of the family. Within 30 minutes of being picked up, Giovanni texted his mother, who had been asleep while studying for her pharmacy board exams. One chilling message: "Mom, help." He texted his mom, "Mom, help." Giovanni's mother's Bridget told People she had been hesitant about him going alone, but wanted to support his efforts to reconnect with family members. Later, she received a voicemail from Giovanni's paternal grandfather, alleging there had been an altercation and that the cousin left him on the side of the road in Bradenton, Manatee County. What? This whole story sounds weird as shit. Listen, this story sounds like, this almost sounds like his cousin might have done this shit. This sounds weird. I'm not saying his cousin did it, but why would his cousin leave him on the side of the road? It said there had been an altercation. It doesn't say who the altercation was with. I assume possibly his cousin. And they said, and that the cousin left him on the side of the road in Bradenton, Manatee County. Bridget later learned that one cousin claimed the group had smoked marijuana and that Giovanni, a recent graduate of Paquai Varina High School, became panicked and aggressive, according to that account. Giovanni allegedly pulled a knife out during a confrontation with his cousin on the side of the road before running off after the family member took him from him. After the family member took him. That shit ain't making no sense. That whole thing sounds weird. The mother thinks he might have had some episode because they had cheeked up, smoked some marijuana. He panicked, ran out of the car, and fell somehow. Prostrom speculated. It just sounds very hokey that would be the situation. But the fact that he called asking for help several times within different family members, it is something that they really are probably focusing on. Like, it sounds like him and his cousin got into it, and something else happened. I don't know. It seems to me his cousin might know what really happened. They say, my question would be, why didn't you call the police? Why didn't you call the family? The former FBI officials explained. How long was it before they actually talked to the family to say he's not missing? Here's what happened. The timeline is going to be crucial on that. They're saying, why didn't they just call the police from the jump? The Pelletier family has launched a GoFundMe campaign to help with the costs connected to ongoing investigations and additional funds for food and housing as they struggle to make sense of the 18-year-old's tragic passing. Giovanni is a smart kid and full of life. He didn't deserve this, the campaign read. The campaign has raised $29,834, still shy of $40,000. What are you guys' thoughts of this? This shit sounds very, very weird. Even FBI agents said it just sounds weird. The cousin saying when he got in an argument, he pulled a knife, somebody took it from him, then he took off running. He just ran. Now, mind you, I'm not a marijuana smoker, but I'll tell you a story. Somebody gave me some cookies one time, and I swore to God that I was about to die. As I was driving the car, somebody gave me a cookie that I knew. They didn't tell me it was a marijuana cookie, the THC. I ate like 3 of them. Don't be laughing at me either. I ate 3 cookies. No joke. 10 minutes into me eating those cookies, I could not see the road. I was scared. I couldn't see this close in front of me. It was all blurry. I pulled over to the mall. I went into the mall. I called my son that I raised, my son. I call him my son. It's like my son. I raised him as a kid. Peoria was too. I took my son. I called my son and told him to come to the food court of the mall. My son came. By the time he made it to me, there was 2 security guys around me because I was leaned over. And I kept telling the security guys that I'm going to die. And I don't know if they were laughing. I heard a few people laughing. And they asked me what was wrong with me. I told them I ate cookies. I think they had marijuana in it. And I heard a few people laughing. But I couldn't even keep my eyes open, you guys. My eyes were like this. I was trying to open my eyes. I couldn't keep my eyes open. No joke. In my mind, I thought I was dying. I kept telling myself, one side of my brain was saying, don't go to sleep. The other side was saying, yeah, if you go to sleep, you ain't going to wake up. I didn't know that. Oh, Dirty Cosmo, I didn't know that. Nobody told me. Dirty Cosmo, you know who gave me the cookie? It was Ashley. Ashley's not around me anymore, but at that time when Ashley was around me, she gave me the cookie. And I didn't know. I just thought it was regular chocolate chip cookies. I ate 3 cookies. I told the security, so when the mom said they said he smoked weed, his body might have been like mine, clean. I didn't smoke no weed. Somebody said as soon as a mom found somebody to locate him, he was found. No. The friend of the family found him, manifest reality. Not even the police. I thought I was dying. If that story is true, the Inquisitor said, now I can laugh, but that shit was scary. Yes, it was. I thought that I was dying, and I told my son, I'm dying, and I told the 2 security guys, I'm dying. It took about an hour for me my son started giving me water, soda, and I was drinking it in about an hour. I was able to see around me. But my heart rate had gotten so slow, I really believe something kept telling me, don't let your eyes close, because if it does, you're going to not wake up. Yeah, her and that Natasha girl, yeah. I don't, those memories are not good memories for me, Ricky, brother Ricky. Old Dirty Cosmo. Yeah. I don't take nobody's cookies no more. If they say, hey, or have a cookie, I say, where'd you get it from and what is it? Oh, just try it. I don't do that no more. I don't do random eats. So this young man could have possibly smoked some weed. The story could be partial true. He could have possibly smoked some weed and it freaked him out and he started freaking out. Look at me. I thought and I believed that I was dying. Imagine a person that doesn't know how to control their emotions when it comes to that. I meditate a lot, so I was nervous, and it happened to me the second time. Nobody gave me nothing, but somebody left edibles in my studio that looked like Tootsie Roll gummy bears. And my butt sat there, was hungry one day, and saw the bag sitting over by the snack section in my studio, and it was about 13 of them in there. And I ate all of them. Same experience, but something crazier happened then. Crazier as far as what happened to me that night. So I do believe there's a possibility, if this is true, that this young man might have smoked some weed. Maybe they were trying to introduce some, people always like to mess with people that are square. Us nerds. People always like to mess with nerds, right? I consider myself a nerd still. People love to baste in seeing nerds smoke weed. You know what people used to do to me when I was younger? All the guys that knew I didn't smoke used to try to get me to try it, and I wouldn't when I was a teenager. Paxton, they would say to me, oh, come on, Paxton, come on. Hit it one time, Paxton, come on, man, come on. I'm like, nah, man. Because they wanted to laugh, sit back and watch me and laugh. I already knew what it was. Lisa said, I'm very funny about eating anything from others. I lost a son due to overdose. Certain medications I won't take if I didn't buy it. Lisa Caffey, I'm with you. That's a fact. Anomaly said, I crawled on all fours and kept sleeping in random places throughout the house. Anomaly, yo, that's hilarious. Manifest Reality said an independent autopsy must be done. Yes, that's what the family is working on. The Inquisitive said, and I agree with you on that, I thought that I could jump from the second floor. Thank God the other half of my brain said, well, hell no. The Inquisitive, what? J. Bond said, him freaking out is no reason to still drop. Exactly. They should have never left him on the side of the road, no matter what. Manifesto said exactly. The mother hired the person and he was found. No, she didn't hire. No. The mother didn't hire nobody to find him. A friend, just a friend, they went looking. She said they're raising money now to continue their investigation. They just told friends about it. Friends went and found him. Hey, anomalies say you crawled to different rooms, and who said that they were going to jump off a balcony? What? You were going to jump off of... Yo, that's too much for me. What's you guys' thoughts about this? CC said I took for anxiety and sleep. When I was taking Ambien back in the day, I would wake up with food all around me that I had cooked and had no memory. Wow, you was getting down. CC, damn. Agnes Santo Omo, the president. What are you talking about, bro? Don't come in here with y'all. Don't come in here with y'all crazy shit. Or you gonna be blocked. Just know that. Don't come in here with the Obama shit. I know you from Africa, but I low-key know you being funny, too. So you can get your monkey African ass blocked on this motherfucking channel. You come up here with that bullshit. Just because you see a black person talking, motherfucker, it ain't Obama. So stop that corny, whack, fucking cap shit you doing. Goodness. You were going to jump off the... You were going to jump off the balcony? Luke Hudson say, my G, tell him, yo, Luke, I don't know why they think they can come up in this motherfucking play games. I don't know if they got the hair, the glasses twisted. I have no idea. Damaged Kisses said, Ambien is cray-cray. I feel you on that, CC, laughing out loud. I had to say, nope, I'm not taking that same. Whatever that shit is, thanks for saying, because I will never touch it. Manifest Reality said, it's nothing pure about what is going on in the body. Exactly. Manifest Reality, that's a fact. Anomaly say, because it took it too far. Yeah, they took it. They could have kept him in the car, took him where he's supposed to go. To tell him to get out the car. Javon, Lyrical Child, said, I honestly feel that so-called cousin wasn't his real family because they haven't helped at all. Also, I've seen women get butt naked trying weed who's not used to it. Yeah, y'all see what I said. I ate 3 cookies. I never tried no marijuana. I ate them 3 cookies, though. And that shit told me hell to the now, to the now. Hell to the now, to the now. William Johnson, Brother Chill, said it's a sample, brother. They have no life. It's simple, brother. Yeah, I know. Now, he in Africa. I'm looking at the African name. He going to say some stupid stuff, Obama. I know y'all love Obama, but, bro, come in here with some common sense, man. Levi Bond. Hey, Stone. Hope all is well. Levi, it's always good to see you, family. Listen, you guys. I'm going to say this to you. That was my time today, but I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Listen, make sure all the likes. So we got, 80-something people in here, man. Come on, man. I should have, 89 likes. We doing good. I still should have more. I appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow at the same time. Peace and love. Be safe. I love all of y'all. I love all my real people. I don't like the troll subscribers. I only like the real subscribers. There are rewards for being real good people. Your reward from God, number 1. I vibrate at a high frequency at this channel. If you come in here, it's all love. If you ain't coming for love, then don't come to this channel. If you ain't coming for respect, don't come here. And all the bullshitters and all the ones that are following me, I'll say it again, my closing disclaimer. If you're coming to this channel and you follow another channel that is either talk bad about me or still currently speaking negative about me, fuck you and get off of my subscriber list. And if you're a member, I don't want you to be a member of my channel. I'm not playing no games with none of y'all no more. And if I find out that you're at a channel that's been negative towards me, It's finito. So you might as well just get rid of yourself. Because trust me, my people be finding stuff out. Better believe that. Peace and love. I love y'all. See you guys tomorrow at the same time. Stone Paxton, Music and Life Blog. Stone Paxton, the couch. And I'm out, and I'm out, and I'm out. Blessings to all of y'all and all my donators today. Super chats. It's all love. Let's go. On my mind, baby.